It's not magic, it's deep knowledge. Let's start with this quote that really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. This comes from an incredible analysis by Grupo raiim Laura Palacios, and it just perfectly sets the stage. We're about to pull back the curtain on a process that might look like some kind of alchemy, but it's not. It's actually a brilliant, repeatable strategy.
Today, we're going to peel back the layers of a masterpiece by the great Laura Palacios. And we're not just going to look at the pretty picture at the end. No, we're going deep. We're going to uncover its invisible architecture, all the hidden decisions that hold the entire piece together.
So it begs the question, right? How is a masterpiece really built? I mean, it's a question that can feel, well, pretty intimidating. But here's the secret. The answer isn't about some kind of untouchable genius. It's about a process, a philosophy, and a set of rules that, once you understand them, can unlock this incredible visual freedom for anyone.
Okay, so our first stop is all about understanding the strategy behind the art. When we see a finished painting, we admire those seemingly effortless brushstrokes, right? That perfect light. But what we're seeing is just the final act of a play that started long before the curtain ever rose.
And this slide just nails the central idea, the paradox of it all. Absolute, hardcore structure is actually the key to achieving real visual freedom. Every single confident, final gesture you see, it's built on a foundation of rigorous, invisible planning. Seriously, nothing is left to chance.
So this structured freedom, it all begins with a single, absolutely critical decision. And honestly, it's probably the most counterintuitive first step you can imagine, but it defines the painting's entire DNA.
So get this, before a single line is drawn, before the sky or the trees or even a thought, the artist covers the entire canvas with yellow of Naples. Now, why would they do that? It seems completely illogical, right? Your instinct says, hey, blue for the sky, green for the grass. But this, right here, this is the first move in a brilliant strategic game.
Okay, so the reason behind the yellow is a principle that the old masters knew inside and out. It's called neutralization. See, yellow of Naples is a warm color. The blues and greens of a landscape, those are cool colors. That warm base, it acts like a tuning fork for the entire painting.
And this right here perfectly illustrates the difference. If you just slapped those cool colors directly onto a stark white canvas, they can look, well, kind of jarring, almost plasticky. But when you place them over that warm yellow base, they don't fight with it. They harmonize. They just settle down, becoming so much more natural, so much more balanced.
And that's exactly why we call it the painting's DNA. That yellow base isn't just a primer, it's not just a background, it's the foundational code. It makes sure that every single color added later, from the deepest shadow to the brightest highlight, is part of the same harmonious family. It's like they're all speaking the same visual language.
All right, so with our foundation set, it's time to move to the next phase, building the structure. But I want you to forget about drawing lines. That's not what's happening here. The form is built with just two things, light and shadow.
This classic technique is called grisaille. Now, the best way to think of it is like creating a complete black and white version of the painting first. It's basically a map of all the lights and all the darks. You're establishing the entire volume and form before a single real color is even introduced.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. Using diluted tierra sombra natural and gris de pain, the great artist of world renown isn't drawing outlines. No, she is literally sculpting with light and dark values, carving the shapes right out of the canvas. This right here is the fundamental law of this stage. Form doesn't come from a line. It emerges from opposition, from contrast. The light? That's the yellow base peeking through. The shadow? That's the dark neutral tone. And right where they meet, that's where form is born. It's that simple, and at the same time, that profound. So you see, this isn't just a sequence of steps, it's really a dialogue. The yellow of Naples base, that provides the light. Then, the tierra sombra natural comes in and carves out the main shadows. And then, the gris de pain, which is a cool bluish dark, is used really sparingly to push the deepest parts back, creating this incredible depth, all because of that warm-cool interaction. Okay, the structure is now complete. It's solid, it's defined, and now we get to the part that feels like pure magic, applying the color. But here's the secret. It's not about covering up that foundation we just built. It's about letting it shine through with transparency.
This technique is called veladuras, or glazing. And instead of using thick, opaque paint, the artist applies these extremely thin, transparent layers of color. The best way to picture it is like you're laying sheets of colored glass, one on top of another.
This slide reveals a really crucial shift in how you need to think about painting. The light you see in the final painting, it's not white paint that's been added on top. No way. It's the original yellow of Naples' base physically shining through all those transparent glazes of color. The color is literally being constructed layer by layer right there on the canvas itself.
So we've built the foundation, and we've dressed it in this beautiful, transparent color. But the story's not over yet. The final phase is all about confidence, about precision, and about the sheer power of a single decisive gesture.
This chart lays out the strategy perfectly. You see all the shadows and the structural work? That was all done early on with thin, diluted paint. But the thick, opaque paint, what artists call impaste, that's held in reserve. It's used last and only for a very, very specific purpose.
So here's the key takeaway. That final touch of thick, bright paint, it's the exclamation point of the whole painting. It's used with almost surgical precision, just on the brightest highlights to catch the light, and, of course, to catch your eye. It's a move made with total confidence, but only because the entire structure supporting it is already perfectly in place. When you really look at this whole process, it builds to a much larger philosophy. When you step back from the canvas, you realize this isn't just a method for painting a landscape. It's a method for building an entire world from the ground up.
And this quote from the analysis by Grupo raiim on Laura Palacios just brilliantly illustrates that ultimate takeaway. The artist isn't just a passive observer copying what they see. They are a creator. They establish the rules, the laws of light, of harmony, of physics for their own little universe, and then they build within it.
And that leaves us with one last, really provocative question that goes far beyond the canvas. In whatever it is we're trying to build, a business, a project, maybe even a relationship, what is our foundational decision? What is that first strategic move that defines the harmony and the success of everything that follows? What is our own yellow of Naples?